Hello, Sir Bayani. Hello, everyone. I will be discussing the chapter 2 of a research paper, the review of related literature or RRL. This chapter is one of the most important part of a study because it helps us understand what other researchers have already discovered about our topic. It serves as a foundation or backbone of our research, guiding us on what has been studied, what's missing, and where our study fits in. So, the main purpose of Chapter 2 is to present relevant studies and literature that are connected with our research or research problem. It helps us identify patterns, similarities, and gaps in existing knowledge. And through this, we can justify why our research is necessary. In short, it connects our study to a bigger academic picture. So, when writing the RRL, we gather information from reliable and credible sources such as books, academic journals, theses, dissertations, and government reports. So nowadays, we can also use online database like Google Scholar or JSTOR. But we must also ensure that the sources are recent and ideally within the 3 years. So, the process of writing chapter 2 is usually starts with searching for studies related to our topic. And after collecting several sources, you filter out those that are not relevant. And next, you organize them either by themes, concepts, or chronology. Then, you analyze and synthesize them. This means that you don't just summarize each study, instead, you combine ideas, show connections, and highlight similarities and differences among studies. And finally, make sure that to cite all your sources properly using the required format like APA to avoid plagiarism. So chapter 2 is often divided into three main parts. First is first is the introduction, where you briefly explain the topic and how you organize the review. Second is the body, which contains the discussion of related literature and studies. These can be arranged by themes, variables, or concepts. And lastly is the synthesis, where you summarize key points and identify the research gap, meaning what has not been explored yet, which your study will address. So, when writing the RRL, remember these tips. Avoid copy pasting from sources. Always paraphrase and synthesize. Use transition words to connect the ideas smoothly. Be objective and analytical and not just descriptive. Always cite your references properly. So, some common mistakes include listing some summaries like without analyzing, using outdated sources, or having poor organization. So, always make sure your RRL has a clear flow of ideas. So, and this is the usual flow of review of related literature. It starts with an introduction, then discusses the studies by theme or variable. Some papers separate foreign and local studies, and lastly, it ends with a synthesis and identification of the research gap. So, to conclude, the review of related literature helps us understand our topic better and gives our research a direction. It builds the foundation of our study by connecting past knowledge with our current investigation or research. So, a well written RRL doesn't just summarize, it shows how your study contributes something new. And that's all for my report. Thank you for listening.